Afternoon. This is Heidi Ellsworth, and we are at the National Frame Builders Association. I have to tell you, the show, I know I keep saying it, but it's been really cool. We just got back from the awards ceremony, and the projects that are out there are so phenomenal. But I am really, really excited about this interview. We have just recently met and become friends with Emily and Paul, Mr. and Mrs. Postframe, and I'm just so excited. We've been able to spend time today to hear what you do, what you have on your YouTube channel. So let's start with some introductions, and then we'll get right into it. So Emily, do you want to start? Introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to. Thanks for having us on this show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's been wonderful getting to know you guys as well. And this is such a cool thing that you have just developed and have had such great vision with. But yes, I'm Emily. I'm known as Mrs. Postframe on the internet. My husband and I, we own and operate Mr. Postframe, which is a building company in Iowa, along with a content creation company. So we're really passionate about providing high quality education. You may have seen us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all of the major platforms. We're sharing our content on there. So do you want to say anything else, Mr. Postframe?
You kind of covered it all.
I did, yeah.
But you got to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about your history.
Yeah, a little bit about my history. I grew up in Northern Illinois on a farm. I always knew I wanted to build I didn't know it was a barndominium at that time, but
Right.
I always knew I wanted to turn a barn into a home. So when I had the opportunity, I just designed it in my head and built it, YouTubed it, and the rest is kind of history.
I love it. I know we've talked a lot about this, how similar our, at least how I grew up with a contracting father and living in houses that were being fixed up. But we hadn't talked about the barn before. We had this awesome barn on our ranch that all I wanted to do was live there. And I was like, this would be so cool. So I totally get what you're talking about. Yeah, it's and now today it's real.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Tell us a little bit, and Paul, let's start with you and then go to Emily, but tell us a little bit about your journey to get onto YouTube and really how, your building company, obviously your company, and then taking that on YouTube.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know, I grew up on a farm, played basketball in college, returned, ended up in law enforcement. I had a 15-year law enforcement career.
Wow, okay.
During that time, we would remodel, build stuff. I would work part-time for electricians, HVAC people, so I learned a lot along the way. And then I started filming hunts for Midwest Whitetail, and that's how I learned videoing, editing, all that. And then we came up with this idea when I decided to retire, hey, we could do this with construction. So that's really how it all kind of, the short side of the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very short.
But I love it. So Emily, talk a little bit about that launch onto YouTube. And really, you guys had to learn editing, getting it out there, the whole world of YouTube, which is a lot. Talk about how that journey of getting on and really starting, how it looked.
Sure. To be perfectly honest, a lot of it was we just went for it.
Yeah.
We said, I think this is a good idea. I think that people would embrace it and love it. And so we launched our YouTube channel. We didn't really know what we were doing. And but he was really good at filming and he was really good at editing. And so we just started publishing videos. We started to draw a loyal but small following. And then in late 2019, we published our first cost video. So we told people how much we're spending on this barndominium build. And that was the catalyst. So we went viral with that video and it really it catapulted everything for us. And then in spring of 2020, we all know what happened and everybody went home and started watching our videos. And so that's really, that's really how it came to be, is that we just continued to publish videos and we continued to share our journey. And it resonated with so many people because we feel that the word barndominium is really giving you insight into somebody's heart and mind.
Yes.
It's showing you what does that person want for their family, how do they think about, maybe their priority is growing their own food or having animals on their property or raising their children in a certain way or having a nice open concept home to host and to make a community of people to bring them together. Or a large shop space to be an entrepreneur, have a small business, be able to work out of their living area. And so it's just really, it's so much bigger than just a house.
Right.
It's
a
the whole life.
lifestyle.
Yes, it's a lifestyle for sure.
It's a lifestyle. I just love that. So Paul, talk a little bit about you were in charge of filming, editing, and you were building your guys' home, right? And I mean, but you were both you both together had been remodeling and flipping houses for a while.
Yeah. So when I was in law enforcement, you don't make a lot of money in law enforcement. So I knew if I wanted to get my family out into a country how I grew up, I was going to have to do something else. So we would buy foreclosed houses. We would get them livable, sell the house we were living in, move into that. When we just got it livable, live there while we finished it. And then we would do that process over and over again. And then really when I decided, hey, we're going to build this barnuminium, I designed it. I drew it up on 1/4-inch grid paper.
Love it.
And I'm like, I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to do the electric, the plumbing, the HVAC. So I knew in my mind how I wanted to do it. And then people ask me this all the time. I don't know why I kept doing videos, because we really didn't get any traction for like 8 months.
Wow.
And so we weren't making any money.
Yeah.
I quit a career to just do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it sounds kind of ridiculous. And to this day, I don't know what kept me motivated.
You kind of knew it was going to work somewhere deep down.
And, she trusted me. But I think the remodeling helped us, because she knew that I had a good eye for design. And she's like, you want to build a what? And I'm like, trust me, it'll be amazing. You'll have everything that, you want in the house. So it worked out.
That is so. And so, did you basically apprenticed to learn from other, like you said, you would go work with electricians or HVAC. So you kind of found your own way of apprenticing and learning.
Yeah, I mean, inadvertently. I wish I could say I was smart enough that I could foresee the future, but every job I had, I take it serious and I try to learn the most I can out of it, and it really helped me down the road. I didn't know that I was going to be doing that later, but I got the knowledge to do it. And I remember, when I was remodeling, there was no YouTube. So my first book I bought from Home Depot was called it was like a how-to 1, 2, 3 book, and that's how I educated myself on certain things.
Wow, that is so cool. So as you were and I've heard so many stories, but I just want them to get shared because they're just so great. As you were flipping these houses, Emily, you had 3 little kids, all really little, and sometimes you only had a bathtub with running water. How did that work?
Not great.
Our marriage is much stronger.
Yes. Now that I have multiple sources of running water in my home, I'm a lot happier.
The kids are a little bit older.
Yes. Now that I don't have to worry about maybe do I have a toilet today or not? That makes things a little bit less stressful. Because yes, when we first started the barnuminium journey, our children were 5, 4, and 1.
Wow.
And that is, for every parent out there, that those are some of the most difficult years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In terms of your physical exertion and just the constantness of caregiving. So that is one of the reasons why I wasn't a huge part of the building of our home, was because I was the behind the scenes manager.
Right.
I was making sure that everything at home was running smoothly. As you guys know, like when you're in a construction zone, the safety aspect.
Yes, so important.
Oh, well, and it's impossible. Yes, it's impossible to keep a job site safe for that age of child.
Right.
So, that posed its own challenges and things like that. So I applaud families that dive in when they have little kids. We think like if we were to do this journey again with the ages of our kids, they're 11, 10, and 7 now, it'd be a completely different experience.
Right. They'd be working there with you. And they already do.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah, our 10-year-old, he knows how to do a set of footings better than a lot of people.
I love it. Okay, so people can watch the history of you building your home and the home you live in now, and talk a little bit about what you're doing educationally, because you have all these followers, and like you said a little bit at the beginning, you have this passion and commitment for helping people to build their own houses and giving them, when you said the transparency of what it costs, I just think that is so strong. So Emily, do you want to start out?
Sure. Yeah. So providing quality cost breakdown information is one of the things that we strive to do with as many projects as we can, is showing people this is, and educating folks on the differences of hiring a builder, general contracting your own build, or DIYing, and what kind of expectations can you have on pricing.
Yeah.
We're working with a nationwide community, so just showing that, like, going off of percentages, because building costs vary.
Right.
What might seem really cheap, what we're building for might seem incredibly inexpensive to you,
Right.
but very expensive to somebody in another state. So
Yes.
just really helping them educate on that. And then the education portion of it, we work with DIYers. So we have an exclusive paid membership that people can join if they say, I want day-to-day help. I want to be able to get access to a professional. So Paul, we have a chat platform that Paul is in daily answering questions. We do live Zoom calls with that group every month. We bring in industry experts into that group so that they can be well informed. Like, for an example, we did a call with a window component manufacturer. So he said, I make all of the pieces for all of the major window brands. And he did a call with that group, and one of our members said that alone was worth every penny of the membership, because he said, I just saved thousands of dollars choosing, like, making my choice on the line of windows I was going to use, just some of the specifications on it, because he said, I just got better educated, and that's a ton of savings.
Yeah.
So that's really, like, that's so cool when we know that we are helping people get a high quality product, but they're still able to save money. They're able to feel really good about their choices too, because we're just as guilty as the next guy, but in the social media world, we say, back before all of this, you didn't know all of the cool stuff that existed.
Right.
Like, so we didn't get to see every product, everything, and now it's all thrown in your face. So you can become, as a DIYer, especially, you can become really insecure about, is my house not good if I don't use this or that or the other thing? So we really like to bring that peace of mind through the education.
Performance, but it's not always about what's the most expensive or what's the cheapest. It's about really understanding where you're going. So you're offering all this education, and you've also built a number of homes, that different post frame things. But kind of I know you guys have the next step adventure coming up. So can you talk a little bit about kind of what can people expect on your YouTube channel coming up?
Yeah. So, our business has morphed just continually over and over again. And so when I was building a lot of homes during the year, we started our own design company because I didn't like the plans I was getting. So that's the way we're really helping builders now, is we're getting them good quality post frame plans, stick frame plans, whatever they want, and we're working with them to help them be more efficient and be able to replicate their building style over and over again. But we're really focusing in this year just on creating good content to help new builders in the industry, because we all know that barndominiums have taken off. So we really have a heart for helping builders be the most productive, not make the same mistakes that we made and learn from.
Right. Yeah.
Helping people that maybe are having their shell put up, they're going to finish the rest. How did they get that done? What are the steps? So that's just what our focus is going to be on, is just help educate people and help them get to their end goal, which is their dream home.
Your next thing.
Right. And we also have a couple, like, we are going to kind of get back to what people saw at the beginning.
Yeah.
We have a couple of homes that Paul is going to single-handedly build again.
Wow.
And so people are going to be seeing that, like, not tomorrow, but that's where we're headed, is being able to showcase that once again, a start to finish build by mainly one guy.
Amazing.
Our kids will be
helping. Say, you got to let them help.
Yes, they'll be helping. I'll be helping. So it will be a little bit different, but we love that just grassroots, just down home feel of being able to connect with people in that way and say that they can see themselves
doing this.
In that. Yes.
Yeah. And I love the fact with the family, and we talked a lot about this. That's the way I grew up. My folks were very much like both of you, and we built all these, and the kids worked, but it was fun. It was fun. You learned things, and it was great. So I think showing that lifestyle,
yes,
like you said before, is so important. So, and I have really exciting news, and that is Emily and Paul are going to be influencers on the Metal Coffee Shop, and we haven't even talked metal yet, so we're going to have to do that. But they're going to be influencers on the Metal Coffee Shop, talking about full metal building builds and safety and all the different things that go into that, along with roofing and siding and HVAC. And then also on our Ask a Roofer site, they're also going to be influencers and provide awesome insights. So thank you. We're very excited about that.
We are too. I appreciate the offer.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. So, okay, before we go, one last thing. And Paul, I'm going to ask you, how important is metal in what you do? Metal roofing, metal siding, all of that.
So it's the first thing you see, right, when you drive up. So it's the quality of the trim and all of that. It basically is what people, the end result. Nobody sees the framing, nobody sees the internal workings, but it's the curb appeal. So I think there's a lot of education we can do to help contractors or even homeowners just elevate their game in finishing their metal. What should your roof look like? What should the trim around your windows look like? How do I flash them, waterproof them? Because that is a challenge with metal, but those things are all solvable, and we do it on all of our builds. So
beautiful. And all of us are working with Sherwin-Williams also, and that's been really fun. In fact, that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met.
So thank you to our sponsor of the Metal Coffee Shop, Sherwin-Williams, for bringing all of us together.
Yep.
Paul, Emily, I am so excited. We are lifelong friends now. Sorry, you're stuck. You're with us now at the coffee shop. So thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Heidi. Thank you. And thank you. How cool is that? Big announcement at the Frame Builder Show. We'll be back with more interviews soon.